Hey, what is up, guys? So, Gamescom recently wrapped up this week, and a ton of news and trailers came out of the event. So, today I thought I'd go over some of the stuff that I found most interesting. So, starting off, we got some sort of new gameplay for Battlefield. I mean, by this point, I think most people know what we can expect from the game, some of the vehicles that we might play with, but the most interesting part of the trailer for Gamescom is that we got a small hint at what the single player might be about. So towards the end of the trailer, there's two characters fighting, and one of the characters basically during the fight calls the other character Lawrence of Arabia, and that's where the trailer ends. Now, for those of you who don't know, here's just a small quick history lesson. Lawrence of Arabia was basically an intermediary between the British Army and the Arabs, and he was basically a big player in taking down the Ottoman Empire during World War I. And he was an intermediary, but he also participated in a lot of battles. Many of his battle highlights were attacks on trains that carried supplies and weaponry and that type of thing. So I think that during the single player campaign, we might expect some assaults on cargo trains, and we have seen from trailers the trains are in the game. But now moving on to Watch Dogs. I don't know how to feel about Watch Dogs 2. I played the first one, I didn't finish it. I found the hacking to be very minimal, I think like most people did. The hacking basically came down to you see something, you press a button, and then the light turns red or something similar to that. You could hack cameras, but there was not really much depth to the actual hacking mechanic, which is what was sold during the trailers and during the marketing for the game. And the trailers for Watch Dogs 2 haven't really sold me on the game. The only thing that's keeping me interested is that the game looks very colorful, which is a problem that I had with the original Watch Dogs, because the original Watch Dogs just seemed very gray, and that sort of turned me off from the game, because whenever I went to play it, I just felt bored. There was no color, and I mean the gameplay was a big problem too, but I really liked it. In Watch Dogs 2, they're adding colors and maybe it's just saturation, but I really like the way the game is looking. I don't know how it's gonna play. Maybe it just falls back into that same Watch Dogs problem where the hacking really isn't that robust. But what I'm actually hoping from this game is that they expand on a mechanic that they had in the original Watch Dogs. So if you played the original Watch Dogs, you couldn't just pull out a gun in public. If you pulled out a gun, people were sort of freaked out, and they would call the police, and from your phone you could hear them calling the police, and it gave the game this like almost stealth mechanic where if you were hunting down a target, you couldn't just straight up shoot him in the street. You maybe had to follow him into an alley or something like that. It actually made the game kind of fun, so I'm hoping they expand on that mechanic in this game. But again, the trailers haven't really shown much. It seems like they're focusing more on gadgets instead of hacking. In the trailers we see drones and RC cars and that type of thing, but we haven't really seen much of what the new hacking mechanics will be. But another interesting thing about the trailers is they keep showing off the weapon, which is a billiard ball tied to a piece of string, I believe, which seems like they're going for more of a melee focused type of gameplay, which could be really interesting. I mean, Ubisoft is good at doing the Assassin's Creed games, which almost don't have any projectile weapons, so maybe they can transfer those talents over to Watch Dogs, and maybe it'll be a little bit more enjoyable. I don't know what to expect from this game. Watch Dogs, like I said, was very disappointing for me, but I'm gonna give this one a try. And lastly, we got a trailer for a game that I really wasn't expecting. Actually, it's called Metal Gear Survive or Survival. I forgot the actual title of the game, but this came out of nowhere, because if you remember, Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear, left Konami, and there's rumors and speculations that he was actually fired or he was pushed out of the company, and there was even speculation that Konami was just trying to be done with the game industry and move into pachinko machines, which is a growing market in Japan. So it seems kind of strange that they would just out of nowhere release a new Metal Gear Solid game, especially when the creator of the game is no longer involved with the project. And the game, from the trailers, we can sort of infer that it's just sort of a horde mode. It could have almost even been released as DLC for Metal Gear Solid 5, and Konami has said that this game will not be a full retail game, so I'm guessing it'll be anywhere from like $15 to $20. I think the biggest challenge for this game, because I'm actually really not interested in this game, it just seems sort of like a cash grab. I really enjoyed Metal Gear Solid 5. I think it's one of the best stealth games of last year, and just one of my favorite games overall. I had never played a Metal Gear Solid game before that, and this game just completely blew me away. But that sort of this fun stealth mechanics and shooting and just complexity of Metal Gear Solid 5, there's not going to be any of that in this game. It's just like a simple 4-player co-op horde mode. So I hope people aren't getting their hopes up for the revival of the Metal Gear Solid franchise, because with Hideo Kojima gone, I don't think that they'll be able to bring that series back. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of talented people at Konami who could create another Metal Gear Solid game, but that sort of the heart of the game was sort of dependent on Kojima, and now that he's gone and now working with Sony, I don't think fans will really want to go back to the Metal Gear Solid franchise anymore. What's really interesting about this game to me is there's this part in the trailer where one of the characters pulls out a bow and the arrow sort of spins, and to me that it almost felt like Konami telling the fans, hey, that quirky Metal Gear style, we can do that, and I don't know if they can pull it off. If they can, this could be a really fun, game that you can play with your friends, once in a while, pop it in, play a couple rounds. But it just seems like it could have been any other game. It just seems like they're attacking the Metal Gear Solid name in order to make some money they might not have been able to make otherwise. But anyways, guys, that's really it for me. There was other stuff that came out from the show, like we saw a gameplay trailer for the new South Park game. I'm still playing through The Stick of Truth, but it's really fun, so I'm definitely going to try the new one that comes out. But that is it for me, so if you made it through the whole video, I do want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.